Hi there, this is AJ Puedan, the business hypnotist, and I've got a question for you. What is my magic? Well, as a magician, I grew up in my early 20s as a professional magician working on cruise ships, and as a hypnotist, I did entertainment shows, hypnotherapy, taught classes and certifications on hypnosis. I've discovered that which people consider impossible, the magician and the hypnotist simply sees as a process to make that which is impossible happen. And so my magic is a kind of combination of the two together to create a process of possibility. That which we change in our minds, then all of a sudden we can change our reality and change our world. So let me ask you this question. What is the difference between those that do and those that don't? Those who accomplish their goals and those who don't accomplish it, those who realize their dreams and those that don't. Well, let's take this back and start with the way that we think. Okay, from the magician and hypnotist point of view, we always start with the way that we think. What is it that we want to accomplish? We want new results in our life, whether those results means more money, better relationships, better health, whatever those results are going to be obtained through a series of actions. In other words, we need to do certain things to get certain results. You do one thing, you get a set of results. You do a different thing, and you get a different set of results. So if we want to get new results, we have to change our actions and do different things. So what can influence what we do? One thing could be our emotional states. In other words, when we feel happy, excited, optimistic, we may take one particular action. And yet, if we're feeling kind of depressed, a little bit scared, underconfident, our actions might look a little bit different. Make sense? So, depending on our emotional state, it can really affect the effectiveness of our actions and therefore our results. So, if we can manage our emotional states in any way, then we can influence our actions and therefore the results that we see in our lives. So, what influences our emotional states? Well, it's the way that we think. In other words, are we thinking optimistically? Are we thinking pessimistically? Are we saying things that nourish our thoughts and our states? Or are we saying things that are self-defeating and self-sabotaging? Okay? So, before we go any further, if we want to change the results in our life, we have to change the way that we think, therefore changing our emotional states, our actions, and therefore our results. So, you've got to understand how the mind works. You've got two minds. You got a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the mind that you're using right now to determine whether or not the information I'm telling you is correct or not, whether it's useful or not. That's your conscious mind making conscious decisions. Your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is more like a computer. It just doesn't, there's no critical factor, it just takes in information. This is the part of your mind that tells your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, what actions you take on a natural and regular basis, telling you who you are and who you aren't, what programs you have or what beliefs you have about who you are and what you can accomplish and who you aren't and what you cannot accomplish. And so if we can change the programs or beliefs of our mind, therefore changing the way that we think, and therefore our emotional states, our actions, and our results, therefore, we can change our entire world. So where we want to focus is on our programs and beliefs so that we can now start to obtain the things that we want in our lives. So what is it that you want? Before we can figure out what kind of beliefs or programs would be suited to help you accomplish your goals, we've got to know what it is that you want. Now this is a very complicated question. In fact, what's interesting is I think so many people take this question for granted that it just doesn't really make sense. I remember a while ago, I was in a McDonald's. Yes, I went to a McDonald's. Okay, I went to a McDonald's and I'm standing in line, I walk over there and I see about 5 people standing away from the counter, and I'm saying, "Are you guys in line?" And they say no. So I go up and I order my food, and I'm thinking to myself, these people are standing back from the counter looking at the menu, trying to decide what they want as if they don't know what McDonald's serves. Everybody knows what McDonald's serves on the menu. Even if you haven't been there before, even if you don't like McDonald's, even if you're against McDonald's, you know what a Big Mac is, you know what some sort of hamburger, you know what French fries are, you know what chicken nugget is, you know they serve these things. And so the question isn't they didn't know what was available, it's that they didn't know what they want. And I'll tell you, my first hypnosis sessions that I worked with people was all about helping people figure out what it is that they want. And I had people crying because they had such a challenge answering this question. They go, oh, no wonder why my life sucks so much. It's because, I don't even know, I can't even answer the question, what is it that I want? And so the challenge with this question are several things. One, and here are some reasons why people won't tell you the answer, or why people don't even answer it to themselves. One, not knowing what it is almost a habit. Okay, they're in the habit. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. You want to go see a movie? Sure. What do you want to see? I don't know. What movie do you want to see? Let's go out to dinner. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? It becomes a habit for people not to know what it is that they want. In fact, if you've ever been to Cheesecake Factory, they got this book about this thick that teaches, of a menu. And the longer you look at that menu, the longer you look at that menu. So I have a little thing I do for myself. I know what I want within 60 seconds or less off of any menu I ever see, because I simply look at something, and once I see something I like, I say, I want that. Now, while I'm waiting for someone else to decide, I can look and see what else is there. So you got to compare the two. One person is flipping through the pages going, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I want. For 5 minutes, I don't know what I want. Me, on the other hand, and what you can do too is say, hey, wow, that looks good, I want that. And now for the next 5 minutes while you're waiting for the other person, I know what I want and what else is available. Ooh, you know what? I changed my mind. I want that. Ooh, I know what I want in this. So therefore, knowing what you want becomes a habit, okay? Another reason why people have a challenge with this question is knowing what you want is a muscle. You've got to practice it. You got to lift weights. You got to practice knowing what you want. Knowing what you want on the menu. Sometimes I know what I want at a restaurant I've never been before, even before I walk in. I want steak. Well, let's see if they have steak. Sometimes I don't even use the menu. I just ask the waitress, do you have this? Great, I'll have that. So knowing what you want is a muscle. You gotta practice it, okay? Another reason, they're afraid that they're afraid there might be something better. What if I say I want this, and yet something better comes along, and then I miss out? Well, realize this. You can always say you want something, and with more information given to you, you can make a better decision later on. And so some people are afraid that if I say yes to something, there might be something better. That what they're really afraid of is what does it look like if I change my mind later on? That's the big hang up they're having. So so what is the best thing on the menu to order? What you're eating. In other words, that's the food you're eating. So, to think that there's something better, that's something you don't have. And so there's really no point in it. So what's the best movie to watch? The movie you're watching. Who's the best significant other to be with? The one that you're with. What's the best webinar, education program you could be watching? This one right now. Why? Because it's the one that you have right now. Okay, thinking that your life is any less than perfect, or to think that you want anything less than what you have, is simply a waste of time. Now you can want more, and you can get more in addition to what you have, and yet the reason, some people have a challenge because they don't know what's available. Well, I don't know what I want because I don't know what's available. Okay, and so therefore we do what we call tasting the buffet. You've got to experiment. You got to see what is available, and like a muscle, you got to pick right away. Some people are embarrassed about what they say they want. I know a person in a seminar environment. His goal is like, look, I just want a car that runs. And it's like a little bit embarrassing for them to say, I just want a working car, while everyone else says, I want a Ferrari, I want a Rolls Royce, I want this. He was almost embarrassed to say that, so therefore he didn't say what he wanted, and therefore he didn't get it. So it's personal. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is the surest way to stay average. Another reason why people are afraid to ask for what they want, either from themselves or from other people. What happens if I don't get it? I might look foolish. What if I say I want this and they say no? Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Okay, well, again, we got to get over these things so that we can even get into the game. You've got to ask for what you want before you can even get it. So another reason why people are afraid, they're afraid that they will get it. I want more success. I want more money. Well, if I get more money, then all of a sudden I might want to move to a bigger house. But if I move to a bigger house, I'm going to have to leave all my friends in the neighborhood. I really like those people. No, I don't want it, because if I ask for what I want, I might get it, and then I'll have to change my whole entire life, and all these other things are going to happen. They put all this other drama on top of their shoulders, and it's just not going to happen. So anyways, these are some reasons why people aren't going to tell you. If you can really distinguish what's the reason, what's the block preventing a person from asking what they want, and then we can get over it, and then we can get to what do they want, because that's the first step to improving a person's life, improving your life, is knowing what you want. And until you can get over these hang-ups of looking bad, being embarrassed, being afraid to ask for what you want, thinking that it's a lot of work, afraid to follow through on what it takes to really make it happen, until you can deal with these particular things, you'll be exactly where you are, and no more will be taken, because until you get these things, you won't be able to ask for what you want. Don't ask, you don't get. Okay? And so what mind magic is all about is taking a magic wand. What if I was to take a magic wand and wave it over your head, and ding, something magical happened into your life? What would that be? Okay? I want you to think about it. What is it that you want? Alright? So anyways, this is the completion of this particular lesson. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, go to our blog, and all those sort of things to find out more about this particular education series, and I look forward to talking to you more.